Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the most connected generation in history, yet our youth has never felt more alone. They scroll through thousands of lives every day, but somehow feel invisible in their own. They have more technology, more information, and more comfort than any generation before them, yet anxiety, depression, confusion, and hopelessness are rising at alarming levels. The question is not, why is the world difficult? The world has always been difficult. The real question is, why are so many young people unprepared for difficulty? Today, our youth is drowning in comparison, chasing approval instead of purpose, entertainment instead of excellence, and comfort instead of character. They are taught how to consume, but not how to create. They are shown how to follow trends, but not how to build discipline. They are connected to everyone, but committed to nothing. And here is the dangerous part. A hopeless mind does not stop dreaming, it stops trying. Many young people do not fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lack direction. They do not lack intelligence, they lack identity. They do not lack opportunity, they lack responsibility. Success is not something you wait for. Success is something you become prepared for. The ultra-successful are not special people, they are ordinary people with uncommon habits. They don't rely on motivation, they build systems. They don't chase feelings, they develop discipline. They don't blame circumstances, they master them. If you stay with me today, you will not just understand why our youth feels lost, you will discover the habits that turn confusion into clarity, fear into confidence, and hopelessness into unstoppable purpose. Because the future does not belong to the lucky, it belongs to the prepared. The first habit of the ultra-successful is not talent, luck, or background, it is responsibility. Responsibility is the moment a person stops asking, who is to blame, and starts asking, what is mine to build? Many young people today feel trapped, not because life is unfair, because they have handed control of their future to circumstances. They say, the economy is bad, my education failed me, my family didn't support me. And yes, sometimes those things are true. But here is a powerful truth: you can't fix what you refuse to own. Ultra-successful people do not waste energy complaining about the wind, they adjust the sails. They understand that blaming others might protect your ego, but it destroys your progress. Every excuse delays growth. Every justification weakens discipline. The moment responsibility enters your life, momentum follows it. Responsibility is not punishment, it is freedom. When you take ownership of your choices, you reclaim your power. You move from being a victim of events to becoming the architect of outcomes. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? You ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of saying, I can't, you say, how can I? The ultra-successful operate from control, not complaint. They wake up asking, what must I improve today? They review their habits, their thinking, their skills. They understand that your future is not determined by what happens to you, but by how you respond to what happens to you. Young people often wait for permission, motivation, or perfect conditions. Successful people move with imperfect tools and imperfect moments. They realize progress is created, not discovered. Responsibility is choosing action when comfort invites delay. When a young person accepts responsibility, depression begins to lose its grip. Why? Because responsibility produces movement, and movement produces hope. A stagnant mind creates despair, but a progressing mind creates confidence. So if life feels heavy, do not ask life to get lighter. Ask yourself to get stronger. Take responsibility for your time, your focus, your skills, and your standards. Because the day you stop blaming and start building is the day your future truly begins. The second habit of the ultra-successful is simple, but most people ignore it. They choose discipline over motivation. Motivation is exciting, but it is unreliable. It shows up when life feels good and disappears when life becomes uncomfortable. Discipline, however, works in every season: tired, bored, stressed, or uncertain. Most young people wait for a feeling before they move. They say, when I feel confident, I'll start. When I feel inspired, I'll work harder. When the mood is right, I'll change. But success does not wait for moods. The ultra-successful understand something powerful. You don't rise to the level of your emotions, you fall to the level of your habits. Discipline is doing what must be done even when no one is watching, even when excuses sound reasonable, even when comfort whispers tomorrow. It is training when energy is low. It is studying when entertainment is loud. It is choosing growth when distraction is easy. Motivation asks, do I feel like it? Discipline asks, is it required? There is a big difference. Youth today is surrounded by instant pleasure, scrolling, gaming, binge watching, easy dopamine. These habits train the brain to avoid effort. And when effort disappears, confidence disappears with it. Discipline rebuilds confidence because every small promise you keep to yourself strengthens your identity. The ultra-successful design their days intentionally. They do not hope for productivity. They schedule it. They create routines that protect their focus: morning rituals, learning hours, training time, reflection moments. Discipline turns chaos into structure and dreams into systems. Here is the truth: discipline is not restriction, it is self-respect in action. Every disciplined decision says, my future matters more than my comfort. Every time you push when it is hard, you tell your mind that you are reliable. And when your mind trusts you, fear loses control. Depression often grows in unstructured time. Confidence grows in purposeful time. When days are empty, when days are intentional, the mind becomes calm. So do not wait for motivation to visit you. Build discipline and make motivation chase you. Control your mornings, your habits, your environment, and your effort. Because the youth that learns discipline today becomes the leader that dominates tomorrow. The third habit of the ultra-successful is often overlooked, yet it quietly controls everything. They master their environment before it masters them. Your environment is not just where you live, it is what you listen to, what you watch, who you talk to, and what you repeatedly allow into your mind. I had many young people try to change their lives without changing their surroundings. They want new results while keeping the same friends, the same routines, the same distractions, and the same influences. But growth does not happen in the same space that created stagnation. Your phone trains you, your music trains you, your social media trains you, your conversations train you. Every day, your environment is programming your thinking either for focus or for failure. The ultra-successful are intentional about what enters their world. They audit their circle. They ask, who pushes me forward and who pulls me backward? They understand that proximity is powerful. If you stay close to lazy thinking, disciplined action becomes rare. If you stay close to ambitious people, progress becomes normal. They also design their physical space. A messy room creates a noisy mind. A focused workspace creates mental clarity. They remove temptation and replace it with tools for growth, books instead of boredom, planners instead of procrastination, routines instead of randomness. Youth today lives in an environment of constant dopamine, endless scrolling, notifications, comparisons, entertainment. This trains the brain to avoid silence and effort. And when silence disappears, self-awareness disappears. The mind becomes reactive instead of reflective. The ultra-successful protect their attention like a valuable asset. They turn off noise. They schedule isolation for thinking, learning, and building. They are not anti-technology. They are anti-distraction. Your environment is either feeding your future or starving it. When a young person upgrades their surroundings, their standards automatically rise. Better inputs create better outputs. Better conversations create better decisions. Better habits create better identity. You cannot expect a disciplined life in a distracted space. You cannot expect confidence in a chaotic environment. You cannot expect growth in a comfort-driven circle. So ask yourself, what am I allowing around me every day? Is it building me or borrowing from me? Because the ultra-successful do not wait for inspiration. They engineer it. They construct environments where progress becomes natural and mediocrity becomes uncomfortable. Change the environment and you change the trajectory of your life. The fourth habit of the ultra-successful is uncomfortable for most people. They replace comfort with challenge. Comfort feels safe, easy, and familiar, but it is also where ambition slowly dies. Comfort does not push you forward, it keeps you parked. Many young people today are not exhausted from working too hard. They are tired from avoiding effort. They sleep more, scroll longer, quit sooner, and wonder why confidence is missing. The truth is simple. Comfort weakens what challenge strengthens. Comfort says, stay where you are. Challenge says, become more. The ultra-successful deliberately step into situations that stretch them. They speak when fear tells them to stay silent. They train when their body wants rest. They try when failure feels possible. They understand that progress only happens outside familiar boundaries. Depression often grows in comfort zones. Why? Because comfort removes purpose. When nothing is required, nothing is earned. And when nothing is earned, self-respect fades. Challenge rebuilds identity because every obstacle you overcome proves something to you. I am capable. Youth today lives in a culture of convenience. Food arrives instantly. Entertainment never ends. Effort is optional. But greatness has never been convenient. Growth demands resistance. Muscles grow against weight. Minds grow against difficulty. Character grows against adversity. The ultra-successful treat discomfort as training, not punishment. They do not avoid hard conversations. They do not run from pressure. They do not escape struggle. They extract lessons from it. Here is the mindset shift. Comfort asks, how can I relax? Challenge asks, how can I improve? When you choose challenge, your standards rise. You start waking up with intention. You stop negotiating with weakness. You replace excuses with execution. A young person who avoids discomfort stays average. A young person who embraces challenge becomes dangerous in a good way, disciplined, confident, and unstoppable. So if life feels small, do not look for easier roads. Look for stronger habits. Do something daily that stretches you. Read when tired, train when lazy, speak when nervous, build when uncertain. Because comfort feels good today, but challenge builds power for tomorrow. And the youth that learns to challenge itself will never be controlled by fear again. The fifth habit of the ultra-successful is rare in today's culture. They build skill before they chase status. Many young people want recognition before they deserve it, money before they master something, and applause before they add value. They see success online and assume it happens fast. They want the title without the training, the lifestyle without the labor, the reward without the responsibility. But real success is not cosmetic, it is competence in motion. The ultra-successful ask better questions. What can I learn? What can I improve? What problem can I solve? They focus on becoming useful before becoming visible. Skill is what creates confidence. When you know what you're doing, fear loses its voice. When you are capable, opportunity notices you. But when you skip skill, pressure exposes you. Youth today is obsessed with image, followers, likes, luxury, comparison. But image fades quickly. Skill compounds forever. Cameras turn off, trends disappear, but ability keeps paying dividends. The ultra-successful invest in personal development the way others invest in entertainment. They read, train, practice, fail, adjust, and repeat. They understand that value is created in private before it is rewarded in public. Here is a powerful principle. You don't get paid for what you want. You get paid for what you can do. Skill makes you independent. It gives you leverage. It allows you to walk into rooms with substance instead of insecurity. When a young person develops real capability, depression loses ground. Why? Because purpose grows from contribution. When you can help build, fix, create, and lead, your identity strengthens. You stop asking, do I matter? Because your work answers for you. The ultra-successful do not rush success, they prepare for it. They understand that overnight success takes years of unseen effort. Every hour of practice becomes future authority. So stop chasing attention and start building ability. Stop wishing for opportunity and start becoming qualified for it. Master communication. Learn technology and sharpen execution, because status without skill is fragile, but skill without status is unstoppable. And the youth that commits to mastery today becomes the professional leader and creator the world depends on tomorrow. The sixth habit of the ultra-successful is what separates a busy life from a meaningful one. They live with purpose, not pressure. Pressure comes from comparison. Purpose comes from clarity. Pressure asks, how do I look? Purpose asks, why do I exist? Many young people today are exhausted not from working too hard, but from trying to impress too many people. They compare timelines, lifestyles, incomes, bodies, and achievements. They live for likes instead of legacy. And when you chase approval, you lose direction. Pressure says compete. Purpose says comment. The ultra-successful define their own standards before society defines them. They do not let trends control their thinking. They decide what matters, what deserves attention, and what requires sacrifice. Hopelessness grows when life feels random. Purpose removes randomness. When you know why you wake up, confusion becomes focus. When your direction is clear, anxiety has less space to operate. Purpose is not something you find sitting still. It is something you build through responsibility and consistency. It is formed when you choose something meaningful and show up for it daily. Every disciplined action strengthens your mission. Every small win clarifies your identity. Youth today faces constant noise of social media expectations, criticism, comparison. That noise creates pressure, but purpose creates peace even in struggle. When your actions align with your values, stress becomes manageable and effort becomes meaningful. The ultra-successful ask powerful questions. What problem do I care about? What skill do I want to master? What impact do I want to leave? They turn ambition into service. They turn goals into contribution. When a young person moves with purpose, depression begins to loosen its grip. Why? Because purpose gives pain a reason. It tells the mind, this struggle is building something. Without purpose, effort feels pointless. With purpose, effort feels powerful. So stop running after approval and start walking toward intention. Decide what deserves your energy. Design your days around your values, not your fears. Pressure fades when purpose is clear. Noise disappears when meaning is strong. And the youth that lives on purpose does not just survive the future, they shape it.